When did you realize your parent was the real monster? My dad was always the guy everyone looked up to in our community. He ran the local food bank, organized charity drives, and spent his weekends helping families in need. People called him a saint. I was proud to be his kid. That's why it was so confusing when I started noticing things that didn't add up. It started when I was helping him sort donations at the food bank. A local grocery store had donated cases of expensive organic food, but when I went to stock the shelves the next day, most of it was gone. Where did all the organic stuff go? I asked. Oh, we had a family with special dietary needs, Dad said without looking up from his paperwork. Emergency situation. I didn't think much of it until I saw those same organic products in our pantry at home. Then there was the time a wealthy donor gave us a check for $5,000, specifically for holiday meal packages. I helped Dad plan how to spend it for 200 families. But when we went shopping, he only bought enough for about 50 families. Budget adjustments, he explained when I asked. Prices went up, but I'd done the math. The numbers didn't work. The breaking point came when an elderly woman who volunteered with us mentioned something that made my blood run cold. Your father is such a good man, she said while we packed boxes. Even when his own family was struggling financially, he never stopped helping others. I stared at her. Struggling financially? Oh yes, dear. He told me about your mother's medical bills, how you might lose the house. That's why I've been donating extra, to help offset his personal contributions to the food bank. My mother had never had medical bills. We weren't losing our house. In fact, Dad had just bought a new car, and we'd taken an expensive vacation to Florida. That night, I waited until my parents were asleep and snuck into Dad's home office. I'd helped him with computer problems before, so I knew his passwords. What I found in his financial records destroyed everything I thought I knew about him. He'd been skimming money from the food bank for 3 years. Not huge amounts at once, just enough to avoid detection. A few hundred here, 1,000 there, but it added up to over $40,000. But the worst part was reading his notes about the families we helped. He'd written things like, Rodriguez family, new baby, desperate, will accept expired items. He wasn't helping people out of kindness. He was calculating how little he could give them while taking as much as possible for himself. I printed everything and confronted him the next morning. What is this? I asked. His face went white, then red. For a moment, he looked like he might deny it. Then his shoulders sagged. You don't understand the pressure I'm under, he said quietly. Do you know how much it costs to maintain our reputation in this community? You're literally stealing from hungry families. I'm taking a small administrative fee for my work. Everyone does it. No, Dad, everyone doesn't do it. That's why people trust you. He got angry then. You have no idea what it's like to be responsible for everyone's problems. Do you know how many people call me every day asking for help? I deserve compensation for my time. I gave him 48 hours to confess to the food bank's board of directors and pay back what he'd taken. When he refused, I sent the evidence to the board president myself. The investigation took 2 weeks. Dad was fired, banned from the premises, and required to pay full restitution. The community was devastated. People who'd donated thousands of dollars felt betrayed. But the worst part was watching Dad's reaction. Even after everything came out, he maintained he'd done nothing wrong. He claimed he was being persecuted for his dedication to helping others. I gave my life to that food bank, he told anyone who'd listen. This is how they repay me. He never once apologized to the families he'd shortchanged or the donors he'd deceived. Our family fell apart. Mom, who genuinely had no idea about the stealing, filed for divorce. Our neighbors stopped talking to us. I had to transfer schools because everyone knew I was the one who'd turned him in.